Hello, I am David Gyasi, aka DG, and as a little change today, we have Tim-o-TAY.
Hello. Hello, David. Where is
Nice to
Govy
see you,
B
brother.
when you need him?
Where is
Nice to see
Govy
you
B
too.
when I need him? Yeah, because
Yeah,
there wouldn't
yeah,
have been that gap there if Govy was here,
yeah.
but it's
He would have
okay. It's
answered.
okay. It's okay.
I miss him
So
already.
funny, I don't feel I don't feel like that. Um, I feel fine.
Are we just going to
So
make
listen,
Liverpool references over and over again for the
it's just
entire show?
that's what it's it's gonna be the Anfield rap. Um,
Yeah.
so listen, you are actually tuned in to AFCONnect, and we are the first ever podcast that truly celebrates the football of Africa, its players, and their impact around the world. So Tim, we are now through the group games, and we're down to
Yes.
the round of 32 in the 2026 World Cup. 72 games, so much to talk about. Um, I know that you were at the England Panama game.
Yeah.
Let's start there. What can you tell me about
You
that?
want to talk about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was a wonderful atmosphere. Um, I said one thing. I had a great time, but Englishmen abroad, we're raucous. I mean, it's a
I
lot,
have to
I was a
I
little
have to
embarrassed.
I have to tell you something. Just on that, I was filming in Prague, and I was walking up this I'd just been to this monastery that they brewed beer for the last 500 years. I was feeling so culturally full, and I was just just feeling blessed to be in a job that takes me to these places. And then round the corner comes this beer bicycle, and about 15 Englishmen, who are you? Who
Yeah,
are you?
y
Like round the corner.
yeah,
And I thought, there we are. There we are.
yeah.
So,
It
yeah,
it
yeah.
there was a lot of that all the
Yeah.
way on the train. Um,
Wow.
yeah, everyone, the Barmy Army was in full voice. I have to say, I underestimated how much I would be affected by watching a game for my country. I've never seen
Yeah.
England at a World Cup before,
Wow.
um, and it was epic. It was really, really. The atmosphere was great. It rained the entire time, so everyone felt at home. So that was
Yeah.
good. Um,
Where
and I
was it?
thought
Was
the
it?
football. It was at what's it's they're calling it New York, New Jersey, but it's
Yes.
it's
Yeah, yeah,
MetLife.
yeah. MetLife. Yeah.
Um, so MetLife Stadium, just outside New York. I thought it was a really good game. Like I thought. I mean, Panama didn't do what Ghana did, which was set up, making it almost impossible to break down and hit us on the counter. They came to play somewhat. They were very compact, and there was about probably 30 yards between their whole outfield team. And for the first 20, 30 minutes, we didn't seem to know quite what to do with that. Um, and then they started putting little chip balls through, and Rashford got onto them, and Saka got onto them, and everyone. I thought we were good. I read the press about it this morning, and I thought it was a little negative actually. The
Really?
BBC press was quite negative about like we won't win the World Cup if we play like this. Like a lot of criticism. I thought they got the job done. I tell you what, man, Jude Bellingham is a different level. He just he just is a different level of player, and you see him gliding around. He's just so strong and sees the ball. He's got that thing like Gerrard where he sees everything a little bit earlier than the other players around him. And I think he's the real deal. I was really impressed with him. Felt like maybe Saka um, might not be fully fit. I don't know. Because I'm a
Yeah.
huge
He's
Bukayo Saka
managing
fan.
a tender Achilles. So
Yeah,
they are really managing that for him.
yeah,
So yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then we can get to we should talk about the full round of 32 because it's quite amazing. But just to obviously big game coming up for England.
Congolese.
Obviously, yeah, DR Congo. So we should probably get Eddie Caddy on for that one.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
after that, assuming, and it is a bit of a big assuming, a bit presumptuous. But after that, it's kind of interesting because you would think we could beat Mexico or Ecuador. However, it's in Mexico City, and
Yeah.
that stadium is 7,200 feet up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Mexico have lost a game there in years.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
challenge. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was
It's like
great.
that.
We should go on.
Well, I was just like, I don't know if did you used to play Street Fighter 2? It's like you're sort of going to like uh Zangief's Lear or something, you've got
Yeah,
to adapt to whatever,
yeah,
suddenly they have in their home, so
yeah.
so that is a thing. The altitude is a massive thing. And also the home advantage is a massive thing as well. I think it's interesting, isn't it? This round of 32, obviously we have 9 African nations out of 10, which is
Unbelievable. I mean, it's
incredible.
unbelievable. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
incredible. How many European teams are through?
So 13 out of 16.
13 out of
So
16. Okay.
81%. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I mean, honestly, when you consider it's 9 African nations through out of 10, you have to keep in mind the Cape Verde story. That this is an island with the population of less than Atlanta, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're through. And they are going they are going to play Argentina. It's going to be Virginia versus Messi, which is, I mean, it's just unbelievable. And I mean, those scenes, because they stayed out on the pitch. Did you see that, David? Where
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
stayed out
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
pitch and they waited to see if they were going to qualify,
Yeah.
and they did. They went through, and the scenes and the footage of that, and also inside the a big square in one of the main cities, just absolutely everyone going nuts. Thierry Henry getting teary, just talking about it. It was wonderful.
It's a lot of things. I mean, and then of course there's the Congo story. They do play England, as you mentioned, but I saw Visa interviewed, and I found that really interesting. I found his interview fascinating. He was saying like
What
it's
was he
exciting
saying?
for us. He was saying it's exciting for us to play England. We have to be up to that, and we have to be ready for that. But also, I was at dinner, and one of the guests at dinner was saying, I think for a lot of these nations, they're just happy to be there. And I thought, I'm not sure that's the case. I'm not sure if you were to speak to a Scottish player, they would say, we're just happy to be here. There's ambition,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
the the weight of your country, the weight of history is on your back, is on your neck.
yeah, yeah.
But then also, like what Vissa was saying is, we understand that our country's at war. There's a civil war going on. So the unity and the togetherness and the strength that
Hmm.
us playing in this tournament does is one that we don't take lightly. So that's that's what we're going up against in a World Cup. It is that level, and we said it. We covered it when we covered the AFCON. For a lot of these players, I think it was Mane. Our shared favorite Liverpool player for a while, but him when he won the AFCON, him saying that it meant I could finally sleep. This guy's won everything there is to win
Hmm.
domestically in English
Hmm.
football.
Yeah.
Um, but he said when he won that competition, he could finally sleep. So I think that it means so much, and I'm so thankful for a World Cup that creates opportunity and platforms and stages for these teams and for these players to be on. I think it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it's the best thing about the World Cup is like when you watch it at home. But one of the best things is discovering these amazing new players and watching
Mm.
these like teams, outpunch their predictions or like,
Yeah.
punching above their weight, as it were. Um, to be here right now, what's really awesome is just this. It's the multiculturalism of it,
Yeah.
and how desperately America needs that. Like, not put the American government to one side.
Mm.
There's lots of very
Mm.
nice American human beings. They're everywhere and they're
Mm.
very nice, and they're not. Their government's not representing them fairly right now, and
Mm.
there's just so many people mixing. We were hanging out with a load of Panamanians. That was a super fun Panamanians. Was that what you said? I think it is Panamanians.
I like it,
Let's
but I
put a
hope we're
pin
not
in that.
offending. Yeah, put a pin
Yeah,
in that.
put a
Yeah,
pin in
yeah,
that.
yeah. Yeah.
But it's I'm down in Houston in Texas today, and tomorrow's Brazil Japan, and I'm like aching to go to that game. We'll see if that one pans out, but like it's just one of the best things about it, off the field and on the field. And I think for these 9 African nations having teams represent, that's 90% of the teams that as you
Mm.
said earlier on, going into the
Mm.
last 32 is just unbelievable. So the fans get to keep dreaming. They get to keep, whether they're here or not. It's a great
Mm.
story. And the
It's
and
a
the
great
the
story.
Cape Verde one is probably the best. But they're all kind of great stories. Like
They're
I'm
great. I
so
mean,
pleased for Senegal. Can we just say? I just want to say
yeah.
I am a big fan of Senegal,
Mm.
and
Mm.
they thumped that 5-0 was what was
Wow.
wonderful,
Yeah.
and a couple of those goals were just absolute rockets, and because they had to score a lot of goals to make it through,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
did, and I think no one wants to play Senegal. Should we look at the
What
32?
position?
Should we have a quick look?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's have a look at the 32. Whilst we're looking at that, whilst you're looking that up, there's something I wanted to comment on. What you were talking about America, the beauty that's there, and the government not necessarily being representative of the people. And I saw the end of the Ecuador game, and Mrs. G actually made a point of like the thing about the South American countries is there's like you look at Brazilians and Vinicius Junior and Allison both are like, I'm
Hmm.
from Brazil. And you would
Hmm.
go, yeah, you
Yeah.
are. And Ecuador, the kind of connection and the sort of loving that was going on between their manager, who's like this long blonde, straight blonde haired dude
Yeah.
with
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
with
Fabio. Yeah.
yeah, Fabio with Casado in the team, and you're like, these are all Ecuadorians. And it did strike me, and I thought, is this the issue that Trump has with some of these countries, that you've got a level of togetherness? Listen, I don't know the situations in those countries, and we have to be careful about speaking, but the images that I'm seeing of white, black, brown under one roof on one accord moving forward, it's what I said at the beginning of this season of the podcast. Like, that's what I'm looking for, those humanitarian stories, the things that bring out that side of connectivity between one and two. There's like amazing scenes of players from the different teams coming together and praying at like the end of a game, and they're like, all of these moments of togetherness are like, they just continually blow me away. Um,
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
the
I
end
mean,
of
they
my
say, no,
utopian rant.
yeah. Well, they say, like, when you travel, it can't help to make you a wiser human being because you just, by
Mm.
osmosis, experience different. As long as you're not sitting in your Hilton, well, eating
Yeah.
a club sandwich,
Yeah.
you actually go
Yeah.
outside,
Yeah.
you're going to be exposed to different cultures, different ways of living, different values. Just makes you wiser, makes you less
Mm.
afraid and more understanding. And I think the World Cup does that on fast forward when you're a host
Mm.
nation.
I
So
love
yeah,
that. Well,
I think
speaking of
America, yeah, yeah.
well,
Go on.
speaking of different cultures getting out of your Hilton, let's get out of our Hilton of this and talk about the 32.
The 32,
What are
boy, oh boy. Are you
the
looking at it? Can you see it
32?
right now? It is
I'm looking
sumptuous
at it and
lineup.
I can see it. My word. Are there any like standouts, any games that you are looking at there? Um, I
Well,
mean,
from an African
I mean, this
perspective,
is AFCON. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, right. So the big one is Netherlands, Morocco. And a lot
Mm,
of people will say that the Dutch will win that game, and they are
mm.
probably favourites. I don't think any team wants Morocco. You know,
No. What is the Dutch ranking? What is their FIFA ranking?
they came into this ranked 8th, but they've gone up a bit since it started. There's a sort of live FIFA ranking, and I think the Dutch have
Really?
played as well, if as any team in the tournament
Mm,
thus far. They've looked very crisp, very fast, very organised in defence. They put Van der Ven out as a right back, and it's so obviously the best position for him because of his pace, getting up and down the side
mm,
there.
mm.
They look very, very good. But Morocco with Saibari,
Well,
who is
Morocco, I
clearly
think, if if I'm not mistaken, sorry to jump in, but I
no,
think Morocco came in at 7th. I think their FIFA ranking was 7th. So that is a tight game to call. If they were
yeah.
7 and 8 at the beginning.
I think
Um,
Morocco might break Dutch hearts. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But
mm,
really amazing. Senegal against Belgium. Hard to call that
how are you
one.
calling that? Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I think Senegal are going to have a deep run, and I think it's the thing that's interesting is if you look at the bottom of that bracket, let's
yeah.
say Senegal beat Belgium, that means they're going to meet the United States in all likelihood because Bosnia and Herzegovina, no disrespect for them, but I think they're ranked like 62nd. You would expect the US on home
Mm,
soil and the form they're in currently to win that game, and then I think personally Senegal will beat Belgium and it's going to be United States Senegal, and I'm very
wow.
glad England is not facing Senegal. I really am. I think they're really good,
Mm,
and
they're
they
really
had a
good.
shaky start. They were unlucky against France, although France did just sort of turn it on in the second half. But I think
Yeah,
Senegal should have scored in that first half. They were the better team, and they
yeah.
showed their quality in that last game. So very interesting there. And then, of course,
Well,
England, Congo, we kind of
thoughts?
talked about that. We
Yeah,
got to talk about
yeah.
Ghana. Come on. Ghana, Colombia.
Well,
That is a tough game.
that's what I was about to come to. I think, um, it's I sort of would have favoured Portugal. Actually, I would have liked us to have ended up playing Portugal, because from what I've seen from them, um, not so impressed. But it's knockout football. Do you know what I mean? Like I think perhaps in the Croatia game, a lot of the whispers were that we were expected to win that,
Mm,
and I just feel like when we're not expected to win, and I think however far we go now, mind you, if we do get past Colombia, I don't know whether Ghana would be expected to beat Algeria or Switzerland. I think they probably would. Um,
yeah.
so I don't know. I would never write off Ghana. I would never write off Ghana. There's too many special players in that team.
Yeah.
It's a young team, so I'm excited for it. And let's see.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
South
The,
Africa,
the, go on.
Canada. No, what were you going to say? Were you going to say something about
I
Ghana?
was going to say because you brought up the Colombia game, and that you thought Portugal would win that. You'd rather have had Portugal to Colombia. Was that what you were saying, or you thought Portugal were going to win that game, the last
No,
game of
no,
the
no, no.
group?
I thought Colombia were going to win that game, which I
Right.
think would have meant that we would have played Portugal. Yeah,
Portugal, right.
I
So
think.
there were a couple of games at the end of this whole group stage, Portugal, Colombia being one of them, which was a 0-0, I believe. And then the other
Mm,
game, which received a lot of negative press, was Algeria, Austria, because they scored quickly. Both teams scored a couple of goals early. And then, by all accounts, seemed to decide that a draw was good for everyone. And for an
mm,
hour, there was virtually no attacking. There was just passing back and
Interesting.
forth. An incredible number of passes happened 93 inside the like 45 minutes after they both scored a couple of goals.
Wow.
No one was attacking, nobody wanted to. And then right at the end, Mahrez went forward and went 3-2 up, and suddenly the game was back alive again because, it the draw
Yeah.
was off, and so
Yeah,
Austria
yeah,
came
yeah.
back and got another one right at the very, very end, and it ended up being 3-all. But I heard, yeah, it's a kind of interesting thing with this new format is that it used to not matter who played when because you were in your group and the top two went through and
Mm,
that was that, you know? But
yeah.
this one,
Yeah.
it's kind of strange. There's a bit of an advantage to be playing later now
Mm,
because you're able to
mm.
look at what's happened, who's out, who's not, and you're like, well, a draw suits me. Let's just stay, And it's interesting looking at the lineups here. Like, I mean, Brazil, Japan. I like. There's a lot of
Yeah.
very big games. Um,
Yeah.
it's just very
Ivory
interesting.
Coast as well. Ivory Coast, Norway,
Yes,
uh,
that is a
Haaland.
I don't
Yeah.
know how to call that. How
Yeah.
would you call that? Ivory Coast.
I
Oof.
mean, I think
Norway
I
looked
I
good.
picked Ivory Coast to go deep, so I'd have to stick
Yeah,
with Ivory Coast. But yeah, Norway looked
yeah.
good. Yeah, but it's interesting. We're in what, our second week now?
Third. This is
Is
week
that right?
3. Yeah,
This
and
is
we've
week
played
3.
two-thirds of the games have happened now. So there's
So i in an ordinary World Cup, it would sort of be starting now, wouldn't it? With 32 teams,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, right,
Um,
exactly.
but then they would play, yeah, so it's fascinating. It's fascinating. Let's
Yeah,
see, man, but
yeah,
I have
yeah,
to admit, it's grown on me.
yeah,
Anyone else we've missed there? Oh, obviously Cape Verde, Argentina. You did mention them before, but what
yeah.
a
I
and
mean, that
and
is,
Egypt, Australia. I
yeah.
mean, so wow,
And we will
gosh.
just see. I
Do you
mean,
think
the Egypt. Well, I'm glad you brought up
how?
Egypt. There's rumors as we record today. On what date is it today? Sunday the 28th.
Yeah.
Um, Mo Salah was reported to be injured. So
Mm,
I know he's not the be all and end all of Egypt, but given how
no.
he kind of lit things up in the second game, that would obviously be a huge miss for them.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's tantalizing, and yeah, there's basically each team is, I think, 5 games from glory at this point. Win or go home, right?
I mean, again, fascinating for us as AFCON to see how deep an African team can go, or a couple of African teams, or several. Who knows? But yeah,
Well, you couldn't have
we
hoped
shall
for more.
be
I mean,
watching.
you know, you couldn't have hoped for more, could you? 9 into the
I
final
mean,
32.
9. My dad
Yeah.
would say, Tunisia, you let me down. That's no shade to Tunisians. I feel you, but I'm just saying
Just
that's what my dad would say. Uh,
well, look, just before we wrap this up,
yeah,
we skipped past one thing that I wanted to ask you.
go on.
Um, which was, I know obviously this is AFCONnect, but you are also
Yeah,
an Englishman, and
yeah,
I wondered, based obviously you watched the game, do you
yeah, yeah.
who do you think, David, that we're missing in this England squad? Is there some, or do you think Tuchel got it bang on? Who do you think?
Mm. Well, I think I, I can't really look past Trent Alexander-Arnold. I, I don't
Hmm.
I don't understand how you leave a player like that um, at home. I think he is such a formidable. I just think he's an undescribable talent. Like as a right back, what he can do, how he can deliver a free. I don't know, man. I think that's to unlock a game. I think I would be more comfortable if we had him in our ranks. other than that, I like Harry Maguire in an England shirt. Having watched him the last few years, few tournaments, I don't think he's ever let us down in an England shirt. So
Yeah.
um, I think some of the questions again, and it's just I listen. Thomas Tuchel's football knowledge, and I'm sure his contract is very different to my contracts and my football knowledge. So he knows what he's doing, but I just feel like for some games it will be nice to go, right, you're going to shore that up for me. You're going to come on and create something else for me. Who do you think's missing?
I think the same person. We all smarted when Trent left Liverpool. I would have him
Yeah,
back in a heartbeat.
yeah.
If you look at what happened to Mo Salah in his final season, there were a lot of different
Hmm.
things going on at Liverpool last season, but a huge part of
Hmm.
it was he wasn't getting the service he was so used to from arguably the best passer in the Premiership the season before last.
Yeah, yeah.
If you look at what Ghana did to England, how disciplined they were, how organized they were, and how comfortable they were sitting deep, and then hitting us on the counter, and very nearly winning the game. By the way, on the counter, there's arguments that
Hmm.
they probably should have had that penalty. Um,
Hmm.
so the only way to break down a low block like that is, well, there's two ways: a player who will run direct and draw them out of position and either break through, dribble through, or make a quick pass, or
Hmm.
perfect crossing, like precision crossing out wide. And Trent is that person. Like
Hmm.
his accuracy. I think I know a lot of people were very confused about Cole Palmer not going. I can see why, because
Mm.
threading those balls through the middle, he's fully capable of doing that and scoring goals as well. But then so is Rodgers, and he's there and on
And
form. He's
Eze.
the better player. And Eza, yeah, God, I love Eza. Yeah, he's quality.
So who are you gonna
Yeah.
take out to put either Foden or Palmer in,
Well, I mean, I, if I'd had my druthers, Trent would have been one of the right backs.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
and
So
take your
who
pick
would
of
you
who
have
doesn't
left?
go. Well, I think
Yeah.
Reece James is brilliant, but he's clearly injury prone, and
Mm.
that's a good question. I don't know if we're allowed to. If someone's out for the tournament, are you allowed to bring in a replacement at this point? I don't know.
I don't think you are, and I think
No.
that's why you have a squad, right? You go, "This is
Yeah.
my squad.
Yeah.
If that
So we're
person
sort
gets
of
injured,
locked.
they can cover this
Yeah.
and whatever." And Livramento, is he out for the tournament, is he? If we win,
Livramento is out for the
fine.
tournament. Sorry. Yeah, he's out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's tough. It's really tough. But yeah, I didn't understand it. There's obviously, I think there might be something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like to speculate, but I
Yeah.
didn't understand it, and hopefully, I am proved wrong, and Tuchel
Yeah.
is able to say, "Yep, here we
It's
are.
hard to
Here's the
know.
World
I mean,
Cup."
it's hindsight's very easy, isn't it? It's like very easy to look now because obviously
Mm,
Reece James has been
mm,
out. I think he's going to be out for the next 2 games at least. And he's
yeah,
a brilliant player, Reece James. There's no two ways about it. But yeah, Trent's just different. His passing is like De Bruyne level, I think. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
that's the
yeah,
one player.
yeah. It's
Anyway,
it's 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 Beckham, De Bruyne. It's those levels of yeah. It's leaving one of those guys at home. It's strange. Um,
anyway,
okay.
there we go. Great,
Well,
great, great to do this update with you, my friend.
yeah, really nice, man. And look after yourself out there and all of
I
that
will.
sort of stuff.
I will.
It'd be good
We
to
got to
catch
get
up
Gov back
again.
for the next
Now,
episode, of
since
course.
100%, 100%. So with this being your sort of inaugural co-hosting, um, would you do us the pleasure and read us out, Tim?
Certainly will, David. Yes, AFCONnect is a Hatch Wednesday production. Executive producers are Governor B, David Gyasi, Emma Gyasi, me, Timothy Fornara, Robert Douglas, and Glenn Funnell. Music is written by Governor B. We're distributed by our friends at Buzzsprout and also on YouTube. Your support means the world to us, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to AFCONnect on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. See you next week.
Peace.